Good morning, Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here, and I am glad to be here. You know, this is an incredible time of the year, and on my mind lately has been the concept of gifting and truly understanding the power of giving and where it comes from. You know, we've talked before about the 4 levels of gratitude. Let me just review with them briefly. You know, the lowest level of gratitude is ingratitude, or what we might call ungratefulness. And that's an absence of gratitude. I've often said that gratitude unexpressed is interpreted or perceived as ingratitude. And so I hope that I express my gratitude. I hope all of us express gratitude to those that are in our hearts that we deeply feel grateful for, and let them know of that gratitude. The second level is social gratitude. That's where we've been taught since ankle biters to say please and thank you, and even you're welcome. And this is something that I'm grateful that in our society we see so much of that. The third level is what we call appreciative gratitude. And I think appreciative gratitude gets confused with positive focus or positive mental attitude. But nonetheless, it is an attractant. It attracts greater opportunities and greater relationships. We love to be around people who are positive instead of negative. We enjoy that. And many times the expression of our positive attitude, I'm so grateful for this day. I'm grateful for my health, for my family, the many blessings that God, I'm grateful for this year and all the blessings that I've received. Many times that is appreciation with expectation. So in other words, it's positive focus, but it has expectation with it in that we're receiving it, and somehow we're more blessed than somebody else who doesn't receive what we've received. And so looking at it that way, we have to be very careful with it. And so we should all strive to, as much as possible, I know we're human, but as much as possible to move into that highest level of gratitude, which we call empowered or empowering gratitude. Can I share a story with you? And this story we call Chump at the Pump. And although it originally started out as Chump at the Pump. And this is a story that was shared with me by Marissa. Marissa is the wife of a client of mine, or they're both clients of mine, but Marissa is the one that told the story, and they came in and were spending time with me. These are people that I respect, an amazing family and leaders of family I respect immensely for what they do and how they do it. And Marissa was telling me how she had been thinking for some time that she would like to buy somebody else's gasoline, that she'd like to pay for it. She was at the gas station, and a car came in with 4 women in it. She said, what a perfect opportunity. She walked up, she swiped her card, and she walked up to the window. The lady said, hey, that's my pump. She said, I know, but will you give me the blessing of allowing me to be able to fill your car up with gas today? And the lady looked at her and said, well, we were only going to get $5. And she said, well, that's okay. Would I be okay if I filled your filled your gas tank up? And she said, well, yeah, but, we're on it's her birthday and we're on our way to the casino. So could you please hurry? So Marissa hurried, filled the gas tank up, came back, said, thank you so much for allowing me to fill up your gas tank. I hope you have a wonderful birthday. And the lady said, well, you're welcome. And thank you. And off she left. Now, at that moment, that's a critical moment because Marissa, in her attempt to be in that 4th level, which is difficult for us as human beings, to stay in that 4th level where we have no expectation for anything in return, probably wasn't getting what she had expected or what she had hoped for. And so now as she moves into her car, she makes a phone call. Who would she call? I'm just assuming that she made a phone call. So who would she call? She'd probably call her husband. And she'd probably say something like, you're not going to believe what happened to me today. Now, the conversation at that time can go in 2 different directions. If it's me, and maybe some of you, it could possibly go in this way. I just paid for a gas tank of gas, and they were not the least bit grateful. They just went on their way. They didn't even hardly say thank you. And, I don't know about that. And, that negative vibration and moving up might impact others to where they may not react. They may decide not to do something for someone because of the experience that happened with me, or in Marissa's case, was something that happened with her. So, but let's go to the rest of the story, shall we? So the car takes off, starts to enter the highway, but it stops and backs up very quickly, comes back before she gets in her car. The lady that's driving gets out and says, my mom wants to talk to you. Will you please come around here? So she escorted her around to the passenger side of the car. She opened the door, and she helped her elderly mother step out of the car. That lady then looked at Marissa with tears coming down her face, and she said, "Today is my 90th birthday. Nobody has ever done anything so wonderfully kind for me before. Can I give you a hug?" So, of course, Marissa accepted the hug right there in the spot and felt every heartbeat, every bit of gratitude that there was there. Now, what a special experience. But look at the consequences. When we go into something with an expectation, and it doesn't happen in that moment the way that we expected it to, our reaction may actually move us down the chain of gratitude rather than elevate us up. Now, I imagine that Marissa would have got on the phone and said, "You're not going to believe what happened today. I just helped a group of ladies fill up their gas tank with gas, and they may not be appreciative right now, but I'm so grateful that I did it because it made me feel good. I'm so grateful for the capacity I have, the capability that I have to be able to do things like that." Now, that's being in gratitude, and there's a difference between being in gratitude or being grateful in versus being grateful for. Grateful for requires expectations. Being grateful in is where you live, requires no expectations, and you have that gratitude or love within your heart as you go. And so, as we look at these different levels of giving, that ultimate highest level of giving, in the Greek religion, they call it agape, giving, unconditionally giving without expecting anything in return. In the Jewish religion, and I have wonderful friends that have been sharing with me the depth of their religion. They have a word called tzedakah, which means giving unconditionally, and they have different levels, but the highest level is where you expect absolutely nothing in return. And then for those of us that are Christian, we believe in charity, or what is defined as the pure love of Christ, giving again unconditionally without expecting anything in return. And so in that moment, we had positive energy going off in both directions, impacting the world in a very positive way. I'm so grateful for that. And kudos to you, Marissa, for your efforts and for your sharing this. Because now the chump at the pump is being shared all over the place. And what's the difference between a chump and a champ? The difference between a chump and a champ is you. And so at this time of the year, I want to express my gratitude to you. We've just finished the 51st Meaningful Monday of the year. And next year will be the 52nd. Thank you for being a part of this for me. I'm so grateful for you. Make this next week meaningful. Look for ways that you can give unconditionally without expecting anything in return. And it doesn't have to be money. It can be a smile. It can be an arm. It can be a listening ear. It can be your heart. It can be reaching out and doing the unexpected for others. Enjoy this time. Make this a meaningful week. God bless you all. Have a wonderful celebration this week. See you next week. Bye-bye.